Put your head between your knees now!
Carl du Plessis is executive director of a thriving courier company in South Africa. He lives in Johannesburg with his wife and has 2 small children. Today, he's chartered a private plane to take him and his team on a promotional tour of Botswana.
I enjoy flying, so I don't often have an opportunity to just relax and enjoy the journey, so I was really looking forward to it.
These entrepreneurs are used to the advantages that come with success. Today, their chartered plane is taking them from the capital of Botswana, Gaborone, to the small town of Maun, 600 miles away. It's a 2-hour flight which will take them across the vast expanse of the Kalahari, the desert whose very name means the Great Thirst.
I looked towards one wing, the engine, and I saw a bit of oil coming out of the wing.
The plane should be able to fly on one engine. But in the African heat, the air is thin, and with a full passenger load, it begins to lose altitude. Costa knows he's going to have to crash land.
I took Mike's hand, I took Ned's hand, and I said, God, I'm just asking for safe passage.
All I know that I have maybe a minute or a minute and a half to live, and I'm just worried about my children.
Put your head between your knees now!
I open my eyes. I see my wife, she's burning.
The metal's burning me! Help me, Mike!
When I touch the belt to unbuckle her, I realize it's very hot and I burn myself now.
The plane's leaking fuel tanks could explode at any moment.
We need to get out of that as quick as possible. Your body is kind of state of shock. You try to get up and you just fall down.
The survivors are shocked and injured.
There's lots of blood around. My nose was broken.
Mike, Costa, and Carl's injuries are superficial. But Neb is in a bad way. The pilot and the executives prepare themselves for a terrifying night in the bush. They know it's a dangerous time. Lion, leopard, and hyena are out hunting, on the lookout for weak, vulnerable, or injured prey. Neb is exhausted. He hasn't been able to lie down or sleep all night.
Hey, it's time for the rescue.
The fire has done its job. It's protected them from the perils of the night, but the heat of the day brings the bush's biggest killer.
The morning came, and thirst. I wanted water. It was something that I needed desperately.
We're realizing now that things are not so straightforward as we thought.
What is going on?
They'll be here soon.
Their only hope is that planes will search the flight path and spot the wreckage. But as the morning drags on, there is still no sign of rescue.
I find it very strange that nobody's looking for us. And what goes through my mind is this absolute feeling of being stranded, of being just total desolation.
Costa has calculated that they've crashed about 150 kilometers south of Maun.
So when do we leave? I think the sooner the better.
I think it's quite easy to walk 5 kilometers an hour. If I walk 8 hours a day, I can walk 40 kilometers a day. I can walk to Maun in 4 days.
They've been following elephant paths for hours and are desperate for water.
Costa, look.
Right in front of us, next to the path, is a water hole. It's just a really small, little, muddy water hole.
The problem is, the elephants got there first.
We've now walked a whole day and we haven't come across any sign of people. We're exhausted, so we take one step out of the elephant path and lay down to go to sleep.
What they don't realize is that they're blocking the path of a herd of elephants.
Don't move.
Luckily, the elephant decides to warn them off instead of trampling them to death. As night falls, the African bush has another surprise for them. The rain is a welcome relief, but Mike is struggling to collect it.
I put various plastic things around just to try to collect some water, because obviously that's what we need.
But the rain brings with it a terrible worry. It's in danger of putting the fire out, and Mike has no means of relighting it. Carl and Costa have survived another night in the bush, but Carl is increasingly worried that they're nowhere near to Maun.
Funny enough, more I give them, they need more water. They put lots of pressure on me. They need the water now. Now or they're dying.
No, I need more.
So I said, okay, fine.
These few sips are barely enough to see them through the night. But Carl and Costa aren't even that lucky.
We're just walking and walking and walking, and we're not finding any water. I'm really, really thirsty. And I'm constantly thinking about how the other people are doing, constantly evaluating whether the decision was the right one to leave them there. And it becomes clear to me that we're going to have to go to sleep that night without having had anything to drink.
I woke up in the morning and I was aware that something was irritating my left hand. And I looked and I lifted up a little bit and I saw all these little wiggly things. on my hand. And then I realized it was maggots.
I tried to clean the maggots out with my fingers, try to clean the wounds, because I thought it's a very bad thing what happening.
Mike doesn't realize that the maggots are helping to cleanse Lynette's rotting wounds. For him, they're proof that he's powerless against the wildlife of the bush.
Even a little bit of control and hope is going away. You start doubting where is Carl and Costa, why they're not coming.
The whole world has forgotten us.
They're now totally lost, exhausted, and dehydrated.
This was the lowest I've felt in my life. It's totally uncharted territory. I was absolutely despondent. I'm starting to doubt whether I took the right decision to walk. As I got closer, I see the structure built against the side of the hill.
It's a hunting lodge, the only building for over 30 miles in any direction.
I see a young girl reading a magazine.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you.
It's quite a surrealistic experience.
My name is Carl Duplessis. We were in a plane accident. Can you please radio for help?
Although the Botswana Defence Force launched its largest ever rescue mission, the plane had crashed so far off course that they would never have found them in time.
One of the soldiers comes to me and look at me like this, I said, "Hey man, you're so strong."
If Carl had not made the decision to walk, all of them would have died in the African bush.
When I saw Nep and Mike and Lynette was alive, it was just an immense relief that washes over you.